Good day, students. I hope you are all doing well and that you are keeping safe. So today, with regards to the Fashion Writing Higher Certificate course, we are going to go through the brief together today. So last week, within the platform of Moodle, the brief was uploaded. So all the activities within Moodle is required to be completed within the allocated class time. However, with regards to the event that was posted, which was also posted to the D6 app, so that is a formal assessment that has a weighing that counts marks towards your passing the curriculum. So in terms of that assignment, it has its very own dates since you are required to spend a certain amount of hours on your brief. So the briefing, you received the brief on the 23rd of March, the week of the 23rd of March, and you will only be required to submit that document the week of the 20th April within your class time or before 4 o'clock at reception. So in terms of the assignment, it is not due within the allocated class time. Please take your time and go through the brief to ultimately understand the brief. So that is your very formal assignment. So because this is a formal assignment, you will have formal requirements, such as having a cover page. Your assignment needs to be typed out in Arial font size 12. You will then also further be required to reference your sources, so you will have to include a reference list. Once again, please use your Harvard referencing guide that is also on D6. You will then furthermore be required to upload your assignment firstly to Turnitin, where you will receive a similarity report that will indicate how good your referencing skills are. You are only required to submit the Turnitin report, which then shows me that you have submitted the document beforehand. And then you will have to include your plagiarism declaration in order for you to sign the contract that you have noted and that you adhere to not copying anyone else's work and that the work that you are submitting is in fact your own work. With regards to the brief, you have 2 questions with subcategories that you need to answer. So remember, this is a formal assignment, so you are required to use formal language when answering the brief. So in a paragraph format of 200 to 250 words, explain and discuss what knowledge, skills, and attitudes are required to excel in academic writing. Provide examples to illustrate your points. So remember to break down the questions so that you ensure that you cover all the questions that is asked. So remember that sometimes we read something and then we do not really understand the content. So break down the question. So here we know we have discussed what knowledge. So knowledge is point 1. Skills and attitudes. So what type of knowledge, skills, and attitudes do we need to perform well in an academic space of academic writing? And then provide examples. Okay, so real life examples. Remember to research. This is not an opinion piece. You are required to provide references. Remember the tip that I shared with you? When in doubt, always reference and provide an in-text reference at every single sentence. This is the only way that it is going to assist you in not being red flagged for plagiarism. The second paragraph is also going to consist of 200 to 250 words, and you are going to discuss and explain the different learning styles. So remember, we covered learning styles in relation to specific learning approaches. So if you do not understand the question, go on to Google and research different learning styles and specific learning approaches. Identify and discuss potential study methods. So identify and discuss study methods and strategies that you would be effective for each of these learning styles. So once again, break down the question. And then in a paragraph of 200 to 250 words, discuss and explain the different characteristics of the right and left brain thinking. So firstly, identify what is the right side of the brain, what is the left side of the brain, and indicate the strengths and weaknesses of each. So here you are going to compare and contrast by focusing on the strength and the weakness of the left side of the brain and the strengths and weaknesses of the right side of the brain. But you also need to explain the different characteristics of right and left. So start your sentence by identifying the differences between right and left brain, and then furthermore support your argument of the strengths and weaknesses of the left side and the strengths and weaknesses of the right side. Also note that you can use your mark allocation in order to provide you with insight as to how much you are supposed to write, how many points do you need to give. So this is very important with regards to your rubric. Always use your rubric. Your rubric is your best friend. Okay, and then we go to question 2, which is the second part of the brief. Briefly explain what reflection is. So go online, research what is reflection. And then, so first you identify what is reflection. Okay. After that, why is reflection necessary for a successful academic career? So now you are going to give research supporting sentences as to why do we need to reflect. The second question, based on the above comment. Okay, so you made your statement, you gave your evidence, your requirements, your sources. So based on the above comment, identify what the student should reflect on considering his or her assignment. So now you know what is reflection, but what should you reflect on? And then the third question is, what strategies can the student use to improve his or her writing? So once again, research, find a reliable source, and identify what strategies can the student use to improve the writing. So what can you do to write better at the end of the day? So then furthermore, remember in the space of academic writing, there are rules with regards to the formality of an assignment. So firstly, your assignment needs to have a cover page. The cover page should have your full name and surname as per your ID, so that the information that you give me corresponds with the information that Lizoff has. So your full name, your surname, your student number, your contact details such as your email address or your cell phone number, then also the subject details. So the subject details is on your brief in the top section where it states the name of the course and the name of the event. Then also the date of the submission. Then your lecturer's name and the relevant campus. So please identify whether you are from Hatfield or Joburg. Then your whole assignment needs to be typed in Arial font size 12, and the assignment must be typed or bound when it is a hard copy. However, if we are going to submit online, which will be communicated with you closer to the time, you will then be required to please name your document with your student number. So it's going to be student number underscore event 1. Then if it's your plagiarism declaration, it's going to be student number underscore plagiarism declaration. So you need to identify. So when I save the documents, I know in what folder I need to save the work. Okay. And then you are required to please keep a copy of the assignment. I do not intend to lose any assignments, but please just ensure that you have a copy. So remember, with regards to the plagiarism and Harvard referencing workshop with Talita, you were introduced to the Turnitin software. So before you hand in your final draft, you are required to upload your document to Turnitin. So you will be able to hand in your document, whether it is a Word document, so inclusive of your whole document and your reference list, you will upload it, and then you will get a similarity report. Remember, which we aim for to be less than 15%. And then you are going to provide a copy of your Turnitin digital receipt of the Turnitin submission. So you need to hand this in to me as well. So this is the assignment that you have received. So this section will be on your cover page because it is the subject name, the subject code, and the assessment event title also needs to be included. The lecturer and your academic manager should also be on your cover page. So then we go to our brief and the scope. So the following questions have been drawn to work covered during lesson 1 and 2. You are required to study the content covered during these lessons and apply the skills to the following questions. Answer all the questions. Refer to pages 4 to 6 for the assessment rubric that will explicitly show how marks will be awarded. Okay, so here are your questions of the assignment. Your learning outcomes. This is a section that you can read through, which will give you an overview of what the goal is at the end of the assignment. What knowledge are you required to gain by completing this assignment? Then the evidence requirement section is a very important section. So you can see it is an individual assignment. And then here you have your allocations of penalties with regards to being late. Okay, so if you're more than 1 minute late, but less than 24 hours late, it is minus 10%. And if you are more than 72 hours late, you will receive 0. So here we can see that you need Arial font size 12. And the assignment must include a title page, which is your full name, surname, student number, the contact details, the subject details, date of the submission, the lecturer's name, and the relevant campus. Furthermore, the content of the assignment must include an in-text referencing wherever applicable. So remember, this is a research assignment. It is not an opinion piece. So you are required to do research, provide in-text references where applicable, and insert a reference list. And then the most important part of the assignment is your rubric. So this is going to be your best friend. So when completing your assignment, you should use your rubric right beside you and go through the rubric to ensure that you have all the information. So if we look at the first one, the student has not attempted to answer or failed to provide a paragraph which discuss the required knowledge, skills, attitudes to excel in academic writing. So remember, this is the first question. Okay, so if you haven't attempted to answer the question, you get 0. However, the student has identified key academic skills. So the word is academic skills, different types of knowledge and attitudes required in the academic study. Okay, then the student illustrated their point with the use of relevant examples. So remember, the examples has to be relevant to the question. So this is your rubric, and this is literally your best friend to ensure that you cover all aspects of the questions.